Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I'm Tony Gerdeman here, maybe one last time by myself, but that's life on the weekends with breaking news. Welcoming everybody. The breaking news right now is that West Virginia offensive lineman Justin Terry has announced that he is transferring to Ohio State. Terry is a redshirt freshman from Pickerington Central. He is now the third Buckeye on the 2025 team from Pickerington Central, joining Lorenzo Styles Jr. and Sonny Styles. Terry did not play this past season for West Virginia, but he's listed at 6'6", 330 pounds. Likely, he's tackle sized. So we'll say that maybe that's where he begins. That's what he was ranked in high school. The 24/7 composite had him in class of 2024 as the number 147 ranked, the 147th ranked tackle in the nation, the 1,874th ranked player in the nation, and the 81st player in Ohio overall. Committed to Ohio State committed to West Virginia over offers from Appalachian State, Toledo, Bowling Green, and a handful of other MAC programs. So, like I said, he didn't play this year. He was the scout team player of the week for the offense in the week leading up to the Kansas game for West Virginia. So now the Buckeyes have added certainly a big boy, a big possibility here. Ryan Day, after the spring game, as you guys most likely know, said that the Buckeyes were too down. They're too short on their offensive line in their offensive line room. And so this gets them one closer. And I don't know that, maybe there's certainly still time. The portal is now closed for underclassmen to enter or seniors to enter, but there's still time for the people who are in there to jump out. Nobody gets stranded in the portal, not by the rules anyway. So now the Buckeyes will await, and Justin Terry will get to campus when he gets to campus. But you look at what this does for them, and what does it do for them? Because one of the issues that Ohio State maybe doesn't really have right now is they don't really need anybody on the offensive line. They need numbers, and that's what Brian Day is talking about. So this was the kind of guy that you are going to have to land, somebody who understands that probably not going to play this year, but is willing to work and compete for a spot. The fact that he is from Central Ohio plays into that, and I think maybe Ohio State fans should start thanking Pickerington and that entire area for growing up the way it has and producing players who, maybe not initially are Ohio State caliber, but can come back when the opportunities present themselves. Like, for instance, Lorenzo Styles wanted to go play, and I had to go play at Notre Dame because Ohio State wanted him as a corner rather than a receiver. So Lorenzo Styles Jr. went to Notre Dame, able to come back to Ohio State. And as Justin Terry said, basically, when he released his commitment tweet, he's coming home. And that's a dream for a lot of Central Ohio guys. And now he gets to follow in the footsteps of many others before him. And he's going to be patient. Or you say, this guy who just left after his first year is going to be patient. But you're not transferring to Ohio State as a redshirt freshman who didn't play last year unless you understand you're going to need patience. And when you look at the tackle situation, Ethan Onianwa is likely the guy at left tackle. This is his final year in college. Ian Moore is probably his backup as a redshirt freshman. And so, he'll be back. And then if Austin Searveld is a redshirt sophomore, Philip Daniels is a redshirt sophomore. Those two guys are vying to be the right tackle. It's going to most likely be Austin Searveld at this point. So the Buckeyes are set at tackle for a little while, but boy, as everybody saw last year, just because you're set with 5 doesn't mean you're actually set. And so that's why Ohio State is concerned and focused on making sure they've got enough numbers, not just for this year, but moving forward as well. Because if Justin Terry has to play this year, then whatever happened last year with the 9 starters, that's nothing compared to what it must have just happened this year to get Justin Terry into a situation where they need him. And so, he did participate in spring with West Virginia. So it's not like he's just been sitting around. He'll get to Ohio State and he'll get into the weight room and they'll get him where they want him. We saw Carter Lowe come in and drop about 20 pounds over the course of 3 or 4 months, and Ethan Anianwa do the same. Will they want Justin Terry to stay at the 330 or so that he's listed at? That's up to Mickey Marotti and Tyler Bowen and his cadre of assistant coaches to decide. But in terms of just the kind of ad that this is, I think it's a guy with potential, which is what you need, which is what they're looking for. Because again, they're not landing. I don't think they're going to be landing any more starters out of the portal, offensively or defensively. And really, frankly, there aren't those kinds of guys in there anymore. They're pretty much all landed places. But Terry is a guy that generally, when you get somebody from near home, they're going to be more patient. There's maybe just a little bit extra desire to do, and reach the potential. I think with Ohio State's offensive line staff, they can put something together for all of these guys. And whether it's putting a plan together for Ethan Oniano or putting a plan together for Justin Terry, everybody's going to be treated equally. Because at some point, you bring somebody in, you're not bringing somebody in because you don't think they can play. You're bringing them in because at some point you'd like them to play. And I think that's the case with somebody that is the size and the ability to move like Justin Terry has. So this is going to be an interesting one to watch over the course of the next couple of years. And I assume he's going to fit into the offensive line room just as well as everybody else has. Ohio State does so well with these transfers that there's never any locker room issues. I mean, we saw a couple of days ago when Bo Atkinson, the news broke that he was transferring. You saw Kenyatta Jackson tweeting out, congrats and things like that. So they're not bringing in guys that teammates don't want here. Basically, they're bringing in guys that can mesh. And the current Buckeyes have provided good feedback on any prospective future teammates that Ohio State is looking at in the portal. So there you go, Justin Terry, your newest Buckeye. We'll see if there are any more coming in the next few days or so. Bolsters the offensive line in terms of the numbers. I probably, you're looking at the two deep. Can he break into the two deep? I don't think that's going to happen this year just because Ian Moore is moving almost at light speed for an offensive lineman at Ohio State as a redshirt freshman who is in line to be, he's going to be one of the backup tackles, and Philip Daniels already has starting experience at Minnesota last year as a redshirt freshman. So really, if we're looking at Justin Terry as a tackle, there's almost no way he's going to break into the two deep, barring some unforeseen things. And the interior is a possibility just because of the fact that, I'm not expecting it, but your backup left guard right now at this point, based on the two deep in the spring, is Jake Cook, a true freshman. And, right guard, Gabe Van Sickle, a redshirt freshman, is your backup. So there's some depth on the interior where maybe he can come in the summer and fall camp and really stand out and become one of the top 10. And if you're one of the top 10, then you're going to be in a two deep. But that's a long ways from now. We'll see how he acclimates as soon as he gets here, and they'll start progressing him towards finding the best spot for him. So that will do it. I promise you we'll start getting back to some regular shows here once the week begins, and we've got some stuff planned for you. So want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up. We would appreciate that. And of course, continue to find us at BuckeyeHuddle.com and the Buckeye Huddle message board presented by Jeff Ruby's Columbus, where we were talking about this and all of the other things goings on with the portal. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys later.